In the narrow and silent streets of Japan, there exists an urban legend that terrifies those who dare to walk alone late at night. Her presence is announced by the soft and almost imperceptible sound of footsteps slowly approaching. Known as kUSHISAKE ONNA, this entity is a figure shrouded in mystery and fear, with some claiming she is as real as the air we breathe. If you are unfortunate enough to encounter her, know that your choices will determine your fate. Hiroshi, a university student, was returning home after a long night of studying at the public library. There was nothing at that hour, only darkness and fog hanging over the deserted streets, and the silence was broken only by the wind cutting through Hiroshi like a knife. With his books under his arm and his thoughts lost in mathematical formulas, he didn't notice the creature following him for several minutes. As he turned the corner to the street where he lived, Hiroshi felt a chill run down his spine. The sensation of being watched made him stop and look around. That was when he saw her for the first time. A thin woman with long arms, wearing a surgical mask and a long beige coat standing under a streetlight. Her dark eyes watched him intently. "Do you think I'm beautiful?" The woman's soft and melodic voice cut through the silence of the night. Hiroshi hesitated, feeling a wave of dread growing inside him. He didn't understand, but his subconscious screamed at him as if warning of imminent danger. He knew immediately that he needed to answer, but what was the right response? "Yes," he murmured, trying to hide the tremor in his voice. The woman slowly removed the mask, revealing a mouth slit from ear to ear with a grotesque smile that seemed to stretch to infinity. "And now, do you still think I'm beautiful?" she asked again, her eyes gleaming in a way that made Hiroshi's blood run cold. The boy felt the urgency to escape, but his feet seemed glued to the ground. He knew any answer could be fatal. "Yes," he said again, his voice almost a whisper. The woman smiled, a terrible and bloodthirsty smile. Then, "You will be like me," she said, raising a kitchen knife. In a desperate impulse, Hiroshi turned and began to run. His legs moved as if his life depended on it. And indeed, it did. He heard the woman's footsteps behind him but didn't dare look back. He turned a corner and then another, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest. When he thought he had put enough distance between them, he stopped to catch his breath. But as he lifted his head, there she was, standing right in front of him, the same horrifying smile on her face. "You can't escape from me," she whispered. And with a swift motion, the knife slashed through the air. Hiroshi fell to the ground, feeling a sharp pain as his face was torn in a way he could never have imagined. The pain was unbearable, and he could barely breathe. As his vision began to darken, he saw the woman walk away, her laughter echoing through the deserted streets into the darkness. The next morning, the police found Hiroshi's body. His face was horribly disfigured, with a cut extending from one ear to the other, creating a macabre smile on his pale face. The news spread quickly, and the legend of kUSHISAKE ONNA claimed another victim. And for you, listening to this story, be very careful when walking alone at night. If you encounter a woman with a surgical mask and a coat, stop immediately and think about your next words. If she asks, "Am I beautiful?" remember what happened to Hiroshi. Running away might not be an option. Did you enjoy the story? Follow the channel for more content like this, and don't forget to like the video. Until next time.